What if I told you that one of the biggest threats to your health and vitality as you age isn't heart disease, diabetes, or even cancer, but the silent consequences of ignoring your intimate self-care? I'm Dr. Nora Blake, a board-certified gynecologist, and today we're going to talk about a part of your health that most women over 60 are never warned about. If you've noticed changes in comfort, sensitivity, or even confidence in your daily life, this conversation could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what happens when intimate self-care is abandoned, and more importantly, how to reclaim your body's resilience, your emotional balance, and your sense of self at any age. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Share your age or the decade you were born in down in the comments, and let me know where you're watching from. It's such a meaningful way for us to connect with our community of women who are navigating this same stage of life. And if you want to keep receiving trusted science-backed guidance on women's health after 60, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out. If you stop using a muscle, it weakens. That's simple biology. But what happens when the part of your body you neglect is your most intimate tissue? The price is far heavier than many women ever imagine. After menopause, when intimacy with yourself fades completely, the vaginal and clitoral tissues begin to change in ways that are both subtle and devastating. These tissues are not static. They thrive on blood flow and gentle stimulation. Without that, they slowly shrink, lose elasticity, dry out, and stop responding the way they once did. What follows isn't just the inconvenience of discomfort during intimacy. It can be pain even while sitting. It can be the quiet disappearance of pleasure you once thought was your birthright. And here's the part most women never expect. The earliest sign is often not dryness. It's the fading of sensation, a gradual dimming that makes you wonder if something inside you has gone missing. But this isn't a disease, it's adaptation. Your body responds to disuse by shutting down functions it thinks you no longer need. That's why this first warning matters so much, because what seems like just getting older is actually your body telling you it's being starved of attention. And this is only the beginning. Once the tissues change, the next domino to fall is deeper rooted in your brain chemistry and your hormones. Do you know that every time you feel arousal, your brain creates a cocktail of chemicals that's like a free prescription for your mood and well-being? Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, calms you and lowers stress. Dopamine sparks motivation and joy. Endorphins wash away tension and physical pain. This natural cascade acts like a reset button for your nervous system, creating balance and resilience. But when that rhythm disappears for months or years, the chemistry shifts. Without those pulses of oxytocin and dopamine, sleep becomes shallow, irritability creeps in, and days feel flat. Stress lingers longer than it should, anxiety finds more cracks to slip through, and sadness becomes harder to shake. I've met women who tried vitamins, new diets, even antidepressants, not realizing part of the answer lay in something far more intimate and natural. This isn't about indulgence, it's about activating the body's own built-in pharmacy. And here lies the twist. The symptoms often feel like a medical mystery, but at their root, they stem from silence in a system designed to thrive on stimulation. Once you understand this, the connection between your emotional health and your intimate health becomes undeniable. And that leads us directly to another system we rarely link to intimacy, but which depends on it every day: the pelvic floor. An orgasm is not just an emotional high, it's also a workout, a deeply natural rhythmic exercise for the muscles at the base of your pelvis. Your pelvic floor is the hammock that supports your bladder, uterus, and rectum. When it's strong, you control your bladder, you stand taller, you move freely. When it weakens, independence slips away. And the truth is, the pelvic floor doesn't just weaken because of age, it weakens because of lack of use. Without regular stimulation, those muscles lose tone, just like your arms or legs would if you stopped moving them. That's why so many women quietly battle leaks when they laugh, cough, or take a walk. They think it's age, when in reality it's disuse. The contractions that happen during climax are nature's way of keeping those hidden muscles alive and strong. And just like targeted Kegel exercises, self-intimacy nourishes circulation and responsiveness, protecting against incontinence and prolapse. The difference between feeling free to travel, laugh with friends, and live without fear or staying home in quiet embarrassment often comes down to whether those muscles are being engaged. But the story doesn't end with biology. Because beneath the tissue, the hormones, and the muscles lies something even more personal: how you see yourself as a woman and whether you still feel connected to your own identity. There is no blood test that measures the moment you stop recognizing yourself. But your body knows, and so do you. The loss of intimacy isn't just physical. Over time, it chips away at identity. Women tell me they feel less feminine, less visible, as if a part of them has quietly faded from the room. Mirrors become something to avoid not because of wrinkles, but because they no longer see the spark that once stared back. Yet science explains this too. Touch and arousal release serotonin and oxytocin chemicals that do more than lift mood. They reduce feelings of loneliness, they preserve emotional resilience, they keep cognitive decline at bay. Without them, life can start to feel muted, even when everything else, family, friends, health, seems intact. And here's the subtle danger: it doesn't always present as classic depression. Many women appear fine on paper, their labs normal, their doctors reassured. But inside they feel hollow. This is what I call hidden depression, a quiet erosion of joy that's easily dismissed as normal aging. But it is not inevitable. Reconnection can start with the smallest acts: placing a hand over your heart, breathing deeply, touching your skin with kindness. These steps seem simple, but they are powerful signals to your brain and spirit that you are still here, still deserving, still alive. And now that we've seen how neglect affects body chemistry, muscle, and soul, it's time to talk about something even more hopeful: how to begin the journey back safely, gently, and consistently. Here's the good news: your body has the remarkable ability to respond at any age if you give it steady care. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight or push yourself into anything that feels unnatural. The path back to intimacy with yourself begins with small, nurturing steps. Start simple. A warm bath with calming music softens tension and relaxes the pelvic region. Moisturizing with a gentle pH-balanced cream helps tissues regain comfort. For some women, a doctor may recommend topical estrogen, which can restore elasticity and hydration in ways over-the-counter products cannot. As comfort builds, you may consider introducing a safe, low-intensity device designed for older women, paired with a water-based lubricant that reduces friction and allows touch to feel soothing rather than intimidating. And never underestimate the power of muscle memory. Proper Kegel exercises tightening as if to stop urine midstream for 3 to 5 seconds, repeating 10 times in 3 sets each day, train the pelvic floor to support you again. To make this more tangible, picture a 7-day rhythm. 1 day focusing on deep breathing with your hand on your lower abdomen. Another day soaking in a warm bath. The next, adding Kegel exercises, then moisturizing, then light self-touch, if you feel ready. Followed by rest and reflection, and finally repeating whatever felt most natural to you. The key is consistency, not intensity. 10 minutes practice steadily can bring more change than an hour once in a blue moon. This is the turning point. The transformation comes not from how long you practice, but from whether you keep showing up for yourself. And with that foundation, we move toward a larger truth: self-care in this realm isn't luxury, it's your birthright. For generations, women were told that letting go of intimacy after menopause was a sign of grace. But in reality, it was a form of loss that could and should have been avoided. What we've uncovered together is that intimate self-care is not about indulgence, it is about maintaining 4 vital systems: your tissues, your hormones, your muscles, and your emotions. Neglecting any one of them leaves the others weakened, but tending to them allows all 4 to thrive together. I think of Margaret, who came to me at 81. She wasn't in pain, she wasn't ill, but she confessed she felt like she had disappeared. With gentle guidance, she began reconnecting with her body. 3 months later, she told me, "I don't feel young again, but I feel real again." That is the essence of what we're talking about: not reversing the clock, but reclaiming yourself. And it doesn't always start with intimacy in the traditional sense. It can begin with brushing your hair, more slowly applying lotion to your skin, with awareness, placing a hand on your heart while you breathe. These tiny rituals spark the pathway back to feeling alive. Here's the truth I want you to carry. No birthday has the power to strip you of your right to pleasure, vitality, and connection. Age does not cancel your aliveness. It deepens it if you allow yourself to honor your body's needs. And with that clarity, we arrive at the final and perhaps most important piece. What happens next depends not just on science, but on community, and on the decision to take this journey together. You are not invisible. You are not past your time. You are evolving, and you have every right to live with joy, connection, and fulfillment. If today's conversation resonated with you, I invite you to share it with a friend, a sister, a daughter, because too many women are still living in silence about this part of their health. Leave a comment below, not just for me, but for the women who will read your words and realize they are not alone. This is not just a personal journey, it's a collective one, and your voice may be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And let me leave you with this: it is never too late to begin again. Even if it has been years, even if you thought that chapter was closed, your body is still listening, still waiting for your attention. Small steps practiced gently and consistently can awaken parts of you thought were gone forever. And as we move forward, I'll be sharing even more practical strategies and advanced techniques to help you deepen this reconnection so you can continue growing in strength, freedom, and confidence. Because this is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of a new chapter 1, where you get to feel alive and present and fully yourself again.